I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on the Spotlight Network, we're exploring the profound wisdom of Dalia Vernikovsky, author of an amazing book. It is called Reflections 3, The Magic Beyond the Pain, The Journey, My Impact, Their Impact. This inspiring book examines the journey of life, the connections we share, and the transformative power of giving back. Join us as Dalia shares her reflections on finding purpose, healing, and the magic that exists even in life's most challenging moments. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank our team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put her in the spotlight today. And we ask viewers like you to support authors like her by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing her amazing book. The links are below this interview. Dalia, thank you so much for joining me here today on Spotlight.
Thank you. Thank you. Certainly.
It's a pleasure having you on the show. Truly enjoyed your book. Tell us a little bit about why you wrote this book and the story it tells.
Interesting enough, in the old days on airplanes, actually, when you don't have that much to do, and there wasn't this thing called the internet, I dealt both with my claustrophobia and the amount of time on the airplanes to just reflect, and poetry came quite easy to me. It started also with thinking about what do I give people I love the most, and then reflecting and thinking about the people in my journey and the journeys. And I started writing impact of my plane rides, impact of the life I was having, and then writing individually about people I cared for or people that impacted me. So wrote a poem for my mother, my father, my sister who has distanced herself, but and then also the very animals I love so much. Each individual had a different impact on me, and I thought that was an inspiration, because I didn't just write about them. I also wrote at the end of each poem, I think the reflection ended with something positive, because that's where I needed to be. So
Exactly.
what happened? End of each journey had to think of that very positivity, which is all about life. If one thing you can control is, only thing you can control pretty much is your attitude, right? 10% what happens to you, 90% how you
react to it. Yeah,
absolutely. And
yeah,
I've tried desperately to hold on to that, right? Good reminder in writing.
Exactly. Now, this is Reflection 3s. Are there 3? Is there 2 other volumes of this as well?
It was interesting because I just, again, on those airplanes, I started writing and kind of, you used to have contests on the computer that said, if you write a poem, you can win up to $1,000 or so.
Yeah.
So I started writing just in check to see if I was even viable to be a good author, if you will. And I started writing basically about that. So it started just as a hobby. It still is a major hobby. And then I wrote it, and of course, an author reached out to me, of course, self-publishing and all that. And I said, well, maybe I should write and leave something behind for my son, one of those little inspirational days. Yep. And I did that, but it was very fast. It didn't have very big, it was 50 pages. It looked more like, to me, a very small notebook than a real book. So I tried then to go to the next step. And this is more the third area where I divided it into also sections, the first part of my life, the inspiring people in it, then the inspiring animals in it, and kind of a summary part of how I view the world. And, this, so it evolved. So this is kind of the third evolution of it, if you will.
Wonderful. Talk to us about the magic beyond the pain. What do you mean by that?
So, of course, as my life is and exists, and so many of us do, I truly believe that every one of us have a story, and some of it is very painful. We all seem to have to reflect on our first journey. And so mine was a difficult one, coming from overseas, actually, and in Europe, and then coming over here as an immigrant and very poor, those kind of stories. So it became part of my thing to do, to reflect and remain positive through it all. So the pain, of course, is what you deal with, and how you deal with it is the important part, right? You can be either depressive about it, or you take it as lessons. And the second part of our lives, I think we kind of understand that better than the first. So it was that there's a lot of pain that we all go through. I don't care whether relationships, whether family, whether it's jobs and any other parts of it. That's kind of what I write about is, going through that. The poetry is in itself that journey. And then how I, at the end, reflect on it and kind of just put it into that positivity that I think is really important as we go through it. It's not magic of every day. I mean, I'm not just a happy-go-lucky, clown that I am every day, but it's just good to know that, I look back and I see that I've worked really hard to take the lessons in life. And then how it came to be, I said, okay, beyond that, maybe it will be an inspiration for others that have the same kind of reflections as I do. And therefore, the book.
Yep, absolutely. Now, you have a love for animals. You refer to them as
Oh, I sure
souls
do.
on four legs. Tell us a little bit about your love of animals, what kind of animals, and all of that.
Oh my goodness. Well, it's over time, I found that animals, of course, unconditional love, that doesn't always
Mm.
happen with humans.
Right.
And honestly, if you look at animals and they have their souls too. So over time, I actually started not being even able to eat meat because
Mm.
that's who they are. So it's everything. It's cats, dogs, horses are amazing. Pigs, if you people don't know, 4.5-year-old minds, they're very social. It's hard to even identify and not loving. So pigs, donkeys, you name it.
Yeah.
I look at all of them, wild ones in the world as well. I think they're all individuals per se,
Yeah.
and my love of them is very natural. I figure if I can be an inspiration, I'm part of an organization that tries to Alone Humane Society. It's just one of many that are out there trying to save animals. Even more, my love of animals is to try and take the animals that are being thrown away, if you will, or
Yeah.
about to be euthanized, and put them through therapies with people that also need therapy, right? So you cure two
Good
things.
idea.
The most important thing is yeah, bringing an animal to a person who needs to get over their pain. And many times, if not most times, animals can do that better than humans. So if you can, that is my ultimate goal, is to create I have a 501c that creates something that brings animals together with people, whether it be in prisons. You have no idea how prisoners can take on animals and changes their lives, changes the lives of the animals too. Um, or of course,
Absolutely.
veterans that come back in pain, or children, autistic children that don't talk to humans, but they're very happy to talk to animals.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
therein lies
agree.
that, yeah,
Yeah.
that's the true love of what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. I think animals are the greatest gift you can give yourself. I have two beautiful dogs and I
You
love them
do?
to death. Yeah. And I
Yes.
can't understand why everybody doesn't have a pet. They
Um,
get
um,
you moving, they get you
yes,
walking, they
yes,
love you.
yes.
It's really great. I mean, my dog's when I'm working, he's sitting on my lap. When I'm relaxing,
Yes.
he's sitting on my lap. I'm up at 5:30 in the morning walking him, and I'm like,
Right.
I'm not sure if I'm crazy about him right now, but what can you do? Yeah,
No,
but
but you're right. That's exactly the point. It's how they forgive you for everything and
yeah,
anything. They don't care what you look like,
yep.
or
Exactly. And I'm up
yeah,
seeing sunrises and snowfalls and rainstorms that I normally wouldn't experience because I'm out
right.
walking my dog. So
I
that's
know.
a great thing as well. Talk to
Yes.
us about the starfish metaphor that you talk about in your book and
Oh
how
my
it
God, I'm
reflects your philosophy.
so glad you asked. So this is exactly the point. I mean, there's a story about a man walking down the beach, and he sees another man, of course, and he sees that there was a storm. There was a big storm the night before, and out of that storm, there were thousands of starfish that end up on the beach dying. So the man comes to the other man as he's watching him throw starfish back into the ocean, and he's looking around and he's saying to the guy, he said, "What are you doing? I mean, you can't do anything about this. This is, the starfish are all here dying." And he said, "You're not going to make a difference." So that person who's doing this is picking up one starfish, looking at him, looking at the starfish, throws that starfish back in the ocean. He says, "Well, I made a difference to that one."
Yeah.
And that is the whole point, right? We can't fix everything, but you
Right.
can sure fix that first one that leads to the second one that leads to the third, and you do make an impact. Every one of us can make an impact. It's just,
Exactly.
but it does hurt that you can't save them all.
Yeah.
It
If
really
we all
does
do a
hurt.
little, we get a lot done, you know?
Absolutely.
That's for sure. Yeah.
And
What do
we
you,
have that power.
yeah, we do. We do. It's just once we decide to do it and then just do it, magic happens, choose to be kind, choose to save a life of an animal, choose to say hello to a stranger to make them feel better if they seem lonely that day, a
Yeah,
smile. There's so much we can do to help people and make this world a better place. It costs nothing. It's simple. And the greatest rewards actually will be for yourself. You'll feel better and you'll make the world
exactly.
a better
Yeah,
place.
I mean, you already know that, but we forget that. I mean, sometimes
Yeah.
I'm in the car, I'm driving, and I look around and I'll goof off and I'll smile to another
Yeah.
car, and the person will automatically smile back
Yeah.
and then wonder why they're smiling. It's funny, but
Exactly.
it does sense that most people do not, they forget the power of the smile
Exactly.
is,
You
is
smile, they smile. Next thing you know, you're both laughing, and that's great. Better than
and
all of the hostility you sometimes see behind the wheel of a car, right?
I know, yeah, I know.
Absolutely.
So.
What do you hope readers take away from your book?
So that is exactly what you're already finding out. The whole point is that I think we're all very similar journeys, and just the two things. Number one, the power of, the decision in your brain to go through things, understand them, and stay positive. The power of the animals as well, writing about each one of mine and a few beyond that. How powerful their souls are and how meaningful they are to me as much as they can be. And certainly that if this one inspiration for one person that I can impact, and that was kind of the decision, then I've done well. It's
Exactly. And
because
it
it's
might even have a domino effect. You impact one person, they impact two people, they impact eight people, 16, and
right.
so on and so forth. I'd keep on counting, but I'm not good at math. But we get the point. One person will pay it off to the next, and I think it'd be great. The name of the book is Reflections 3, The Magic Beyond the Pain, The Journey, My Impact, Their Impact. It is an inspiring book that examines the journey of life, the connections we share, and the transformative power of giving back. Within the pages of this book, Dalia shares her reflections on finding purpose, healing, and the magic that exists even in life's most challenging moments. Dalia, thank you so much for joining me here today on
Thank
Spotlight.
you. Couldn't have said it better. I really appreciate exactly your words. Thank
Well,
you.
thank you so much. They're inspired by your words, so I had a good mentor there. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time, this time until next time on Spotlight.